It is the Big Picture Live. We're going to bring in my co-host, the lovely Sandy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great to be back.
She's looking beautiful as usual.
Thank you, baby. You're looking pretty hot yourself.
Whoa! Look out! Look out! Right off the bat.
It's not even Valentine's, right?
It's been a great show tonight. God bless you. We ain't one.
We'll see you later.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? What happened to our wonderful? Okay, there I see it.
Hey,
so look, you'll know in just a second.
Okay.
So right off the bat, we want to just tell you. First of all, we want to say thank you to our church family and our online church family that watches our services and everything. They had a very special service where I don't know if you're in church or what, but a lot of churches will do something called Pastor Appreciation Sunday, and this is our Pastor Appreciation Sunday, and this is when you know the big pictures making a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
I would call it a difference in lives because every year our different kids ministries come out, and this year one of the mid what ages were they? That was the Rock Kids, right?
That was junior kids and Rock Kids.
Okay, so junior kids and Rock Kids, which is the grades. Help me out here. It's grades 1.
First through third. And 4th through 6th.
Okay, so 1st grade through 6th grade. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a brain freeze here. And they came out. They had all this music playing. They did our church. Well, Sandy, let's just show them how half the kids were dressed.
Let me get her. You got a picture?
Here we go. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. Half the kids were wearing these.
If you can see the top.
They made.
Isn't this spectacular? Wow. Thank you, Donna Sanders and staff.
So half the kids was in tinfoil hats, and half the kids was dressed up like Uncle Jimmy.
They even had tags that said Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah. So that's, you won't see that in a lot of churches.
No.
But hey, that just tells us we're making a difference in the kids' lives too.
Well, we're doing something. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, but
either that or the teachers putting it off on there. People's calling us lovebirds and all that now, all that kind of stuff.
So sweet.
That is so true. I'm still in love. We're still in love. Well, it's Monday, baby. Yeah, let's
It is Monday.
All day long. Oh yeah. So we're glad to be here every Monday night at 7:00 covering the news. And we've just been getting reports everywhere we go that people are joining this Big Picture family. When we travel, they need to.
You need to come on.
Come on, let's build this thing. Right now at the time of this subscribing, I think we're right under maybe 5,500 subscribers, something like this. I want to see us push this thing to 10,000 subscribers, and I believe that when we get 10,000 in the Big Picture family, I believe it's going to just begin to multiply exponentially all over. Well, let's just get right out. Let's hit the ground running because we've got a lot of ground to cover. And, everybody's, thinking about what's going on in Israel. That's, of course, the number one news item, but it's now spilled out all over the world. But the breaking news that's come out tonight is that Israel, the intelligence that are coming down is that the full-grown assault into Gaza City, supposedly they have Gaza City surrounded now. Gaza City is going to be taken over, or they're going to go in within the next 48 hours. Now, here's the part that's new that just happened this week. The Houthis, Muslims, have now warned Saudi Arabia.
Now, are these exclusively from Yemen?
I think so. I don't know about exclusively around the world, but that's where they're stationed. And that's where they're firing their missiles out of Yemen. And what's happening, and this is, a lot of people didn't know this, Saudi Arabia is shooting down their missiles as they're going over them into Israel. And the Houthis are saying to the Saudi Arabians, stop downing our missiles. Israel is a whirlwind of information that entry into Gaza City by Israeli troops will commence in earnest within 48 hours. It is expected to be utterly brutal, full-scale urban warfare. Oh, my
goodness. The quotes from this story, close quarters urban warfare.
Yeah.
And what it's going to go on to say. I hope people are really paying attention. This is strong language.
Yeah, everything's about to escalate. Yeah. In the days leading up to today's information, Israeli Defense Forces have entered northern Gaza and have begun surrounding Gaza City from the north, along the west, and along the road of the east. Another contingent of IDF entered south of Gaza and secured a 3-block wide pathway to the coastal road, from which they're beginning to move northward. Fighting along the periphery of Gaza City has often been fierce, but word is that what's been encountered by IDF so far is nothing compared to what full-scale urban warfare, as you just said, will bring. The ferocious nature of urban warfare in close quarters is a well-known nightmare for any military. And I just hate to read this, but the body count on both sides is expected to be mind-boggling.
That statement right there is what stood out in this article to me. That, if you think about that, that's just terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, mind-boggling on both sides.
Both sides.
Meanwhile, the Houthis in the country of Yemen have been firing ballistic missiles and launching drones from Yemen towards Israel, but most of these have been intercepted by U.S. naval assets in the Red Sea or by Saudi Arabia itself. And today, the Houthis formally warned Saudi Arabia if they continue to intercept missiles destined for Israel, the Houthis will begin targeting all Saudi oil production facilities. On its face, it appears that most observers that the Houthis are telling the Saudis either you support your fellow Muslims or you support Israel. You cannot do both. This is apparently an unexpected development, both in the Arab world and the Pentagon. It is not yet known how this will be addressed. I'll be honest with you. When I read this news article, I was surprised by this. I've not heard anybody talking about this.
No one have not heard this anywhere. So, I'm sure it won't be the last strange thing that we hear. But a lot of strong language in this article, and I think we should all pay attention here. They're talking about 48 hours. Yeah. What are we about to see?
Yeah, when they're talking about casualties being mind-boggling on both sides, and you already see what's happening in the streets.
And some of these articles, I think the majority of them are from today. Some of them will be from yesterday or even several days earlier. But this particular article is today. Yeah. So we're talking about 2 days from now. And
well, just think about this. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I read that. I knew that we had military assets around Saudi Arabia, but I couldn't believe that Saudi Arabia, it's like Saudi Arabia, they're no friend of Israel by no means, but it's almost like they realize we can't let these missiles come across us and go in there because Israel may think they're coming from us. I mean, it's like they realize, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is not an angle that I had thought about for this altercation. But wow, it's just another week, another escalation.
Now, look, as I want to give you a heads up as we go through some of these news items. There may be some slip ups when I play some videos, and quite frankly, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's brutal, and in some of these videos, and I think there's one that I'm going to try to stop right before we get to it, but there's people just being brutally honest, and they may let some words slip, okay? And just understand that if they do, that has nothing to do with us endorsing that kind of talk, but I'm telling you, you can't hardly watch anything without language when people are in the heat of things. And I want to show this article because this is what's happening in our streets, Sandy. This is what's happening in our streets and in every major city in every country in the world.
Surely most of our viewers are aware of this, but if you're not, you need to pay attention to what's going on in your country.
Now, I know we got people watching from all over the world, but right now we're going to talk about the United States. Pro-Palestinian protesters are seen shaking White House gate, and they vandalized it with red paint, of course, painting, F. Joe Biden.
Go, Brandon.
I had the hitter on that one. Going to get me in trouble.
Well, we probably should say that instead.
Yeah, but we're not going to say that because we know what that means, okay?
No, instead, we're just going to say the other thing. All right, it's so much better.
So a White House fence was vandalized with red paint as protesters shook the gate, one of the entrances. Let me see if I can play this video here. I mean, this is the White House. This is our White House. Look at the flags going through it. One guy climbed the fence all the way to the top of the fence, was waving a flag. The crowd went crazy. This looks to me more like an insurrection, or at least an insurrection. And they were chanting. Yeah. They were chanting. I can't even say it. Allah Akbar. Well, let's just read it. A White House fence was vandalized. As they said what we said that they wrote on there. Later in the evening, protesters were seen attempting to climb up the White House wrought iron gates. The demonstrators also covered the General Marquis de Lafayette statue. By the way, I'm going to show you pictures of that, where they just destroyed a lot of the monuments with graffiti and Palestinian flags. And this is just some pictures here.
Look at that.
I mean, just white. It was handprints. It's supposed to assimilate blood and all this. And look at this. This is the White House. You know, years ago we stood right out there in that very spot and never would imagine that our country would look like this. And of course, you know, free Gaza. You know, this. I mean, it's just. And I just want to, as I'm scrolling this, I want to remind everyone. Look at this. This is insane. Where was this one? This was. Let's click. I don't know if this is a video. Let's see what happens here.
Is this one of our federal buildings?
Let's see.
Matsudo knives do stand out from the crowd. The leather case and premium stone sharpener will let you keep this knife sharp for a very...
I don't want it. I bought it. Okay. All right, here we go. Look at this. That's insane.
It is.
Okay. Let's keep in mind that Israel was brutally attacked on October 7th. What is today? The 6th. 1 month ago.
So somebody just tweeted a little message out and they all showed up, right?
There's no way. There's no way this just happened organically.
No, there's no orchestrated effort to get tens of thousands of people there at a moment's notice. Sure.
That's what I think about what you just said. But, I mean, I think we all know. And we're being facetious here, but I think we all know that this was a part of the coordinated plan.
Had to take some planning. Come on.
And think about the money. I mean, it's a lot of money to put this, and people are being bussed in from all over the country to Washington, D.C. and New York City.
You don't do this in 2 days' time.
No.
So, you know, come on.
Exactly.
And, of course, contrast that with January 6th, the J6ers.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Have you seen the video that just came out? They were starting to finally release some of the videos that Tucker had, a lot of it. But, you know, they come in there and I'm not sanctioning this. I'm not sanctioning what they did. Okay. But on the video, it paints a whole different narrative because they're in the Capitol. Okay. They're in there. They're in the hall where they do the voting and all that, the House of Representatives. And the police just let them walk around. And then the police comes in there with the megaphone and says, okay, it's time to leave. And they all line up, start leaving there. And they're looking at the officers going, thank you so much for your service. Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed day. We speak the blood of Jesus over here. I mean, they're walking out. Even the Viking dude is going, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you, officer. Thank you for your service to our country. And you can hear them on the camera saying that. And they're just walking out. And then you look at what we're seeing here. And then I have to say this. I have to go back to what we talk about all the time here on our southern border. And every time we show a video of the southern border, we see people that are from terrorist countries. Yes. And then you're going to tell me that in those crowds, there's not people screaming those words that they scream before they kill people, that they're not thinking about what they're plotting to be activated in the cells here, the sleeper cells, to do things that we just saw in Israel happen here. And many of the people, let me tell you, can I be bold? Many of the people that they're just so stupid. They've just been programmed by TikTok in this world, which we're going to get into right now. They don't even realize the very thing that they're marching in support of, when the switch gets turned on, when the command comes down, those people are going to turn on them as well. Because if you either believe what we believe and you are against Israel, or you are our enemy.
Wow.
That's the bottom line truth.
And it's only 7:17. You're already.
I'm telling you right now, I am on tonight. I am on. Y'all, if y'all didn't see the intro, then y'all don't know why. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. Go back and watch an intro later. Watch this right here. Watch this. West Coast. Let me throw this article up here from Breitbart. It says, West Coast pro-Palestinian protesters blockade ports. I want you to think about all this that's happened. Saying starts talking about orchestrate. This had to be orchestrated. This did not just happen organically. They're now blocking ports. They're calling for intifada in these protests. And in the protests, they're not. It started out pro-Palestinian, and they're chanting from the river to the sea. Yep. And that means the complete annihilation of Israel. They are chanting. I'm talking about, this is what blows my mind, Sandy. I'm talking about, you got signs. Did you know they added the Palestinian colors to the pride flag? How many colors is in that thing? They put the Palestinian colors in there, not realizing that the Muslim world, don't even they have a death sentence, and a lot of them if they reveal that they are homosexual, gay, lesbian, or whatever. In America, you have rights, and they're marching, got these signs up, gays for Palestine, this for Palestine, all this kind of stuff, and the people marching right next to them is getting ready to turn on them.
Come on now. Wow.
I ain't playing. Ain't playing.
Nope. But back to this story. This is big time stuff. These people were literally blocking the port in Washington State.
Yeah.
This was a ship that had been loaded with supplies that was going to be headed for Israel. They got away with it at least for several hours. Now, some of them were arrested, but this was just the first type thing in this country, our country, blocking ships that were leaving with supplies.
In our country,
in our ports. I hope that this doesn't get any kind of footing and try to happen over and over again on both coasts. At least it was just this once, but it's kind of ridiculous.
But Sandy, it will. That's where it's going.
Well,
Ports are going to be blocked. Airports are going to be stormed.
Here's the thing.
I'm telling you, that's where this is going.
How did they get the manifest of this ship to know what was on it and where it was going? I mean, come on.
Think about it.
Come on.
Think about it. Let's read the article.
It's ridiculous.
About 100 pro-Palestinian protesters blockaded the port of Tacoma, Washington on Monday morning in an effort to stop the passage of a ship they say is bound for Israel with U.S.-supplied weapons to fight against the Palestinian terror group Hamas. The demonstration continues efforts in Oakland over the weekend that saw anti-Israel activists attempting to scale the ship, the Cape Orlando, and several arrests. So now they're scaling the ships. They are literally, and I'm going to show you this, and I don't know how much of this is going to get me flagged and what's not, but I'm going to show you this next article. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be a couple of articles down. But this next one, I got to show you this. I mean, this right here's crazy. They in 1 week, this is going to be organic, please. So this horrible terrorist, murderous attack happened against Israel. And within a week, the narrative already turned. And then within 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, Paris, London, New York City.
Erupting all over the world.
When you combine all the numbers, millions in the streets. Okay. Now, systematically blocking ports. They're laying down in interstates, blocking interstates.
So SJ Cares is saying there were 350,000 in the protest at the White House, because I don't know if the story that we were showing earlier gave a number, but certainly you can see there were had to be tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. Back to what you were saying, laying down in the interstates, and what else? Laying
down in the interstates, blocking ports. The rumor is, but they're not going there now because of heightened security from 9/11. They're trying to find out a way to affect air travel in the airports. Remember what happened in Russia last week? The Muslims stormed the Russian airport, literally hunting for a plane that their intelligence, just like this ship, said that the plane was landing in Russia from Israel, and they were hunting. They were going on planes and hunting Jews. So here we are. What's more iconic image of the United States of America than the Statue of Liberty? Today, the Statue of Liberty had to be shut down.
Oh, this is so ridiculous.
Shut down by protesters calling for a Gaza ceasefire. Look, it's just a photo op is all it is.
That's right.
That's all they care about. They stormed the Statue of Liberty.
How many people would you say that is? Probably 100 people altogether?
At least in that picture.
Okay, look. Okay, so they all have the same T-shirt on.
Yep.
So
think about this. They have pre-made banners.
They had to conceal the T-shirts at least until they got on to the island. Somebody had to bring those banners, and you can see there are at least 3 banners that are hanging from the base of the statue, and they had to. I don't know how much of the article you're going to read, but they had to conceal the fact that they were going to be together doing a demonstration and just be casual. I mean, it makes me mad because the whole thing had to be shut down.
Yep.
Now, it is a little bit of an ordeal to go to the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
We were only there for a short time. It was so cold.
Yep.
We had to use the subway. We had to get over to the ferry, Staten Island Ferry.
Yep.
We had to ride that over. It was freezing unless you went down, you want to stay on the top because you want to see everything, but it's freezing.
And you couldn't even get inside Statue of Liberty without an appointment. We didn't know that.
So after you finally, ride the ferry, you get over there. We did not know that we had to have made an appointment months in advance to go inside the Statue of Liberty. So we were able to walk around outside and go into the other building that is, somewhat of a museum, and go to the gift shop and all that sort of thing. But it is an ordeal. It's a privilege, but it's work to get there. And it was shut down to tourists.
And you know good and well that thousands of people, at least hundreds, had planned way in advance to take their family there.
Yep.
And not only that could they not go there because it got shut down, but there's fear. Yes. There's fear in the streets of New York. But I'm going to show you something in just a minute that, God's not giving us a spirit of fear. But let's read a little bit of this and move on because we've got a lot to cover.
These people performing this ruse.
Yeah.
Standing in line, because you have to stand in a long line and wait to board the ferry. Then, don't act like you know each other. And my goodness, this is like almost... That's a third or half of one ferry load of people.
Yeah.
Now, did they all come at the same time? I don't know. But once they got there, they organized themselves. They put on their T-shirts. They, went up the platform of the Statue of Liberty, threw their banners over the walls, and, formed themselves for their picture.
And let's just be real. The police way back, I'm talking about back during the pandemic and pre-pandemic, but certainly during the pandemic, they've been told repeatedly, stand down. We live in a nation now that no longer enforces laws. So I guarantee you,
at least for certain people.
I guarantee you, the call came in on the radio. Do not touch these people. Let them do what they want to do. Stand back and watch them. Do not touch them.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't already went to our website, go there now.
Come on.
Go to LarryRagland.com.
What you waiting on?
And when you get there, get you a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. You can become a partner with us. We got merchandise, Awake Not Woke. If you're new to our channel, I See Greatness in You is the name of our book. We need some people to help us partner. We also have a television ministry where we are on television around the world, direct TV, many other things. That costs a lot of money. This don't cost money, but that costs money.
Yes.
So if you'd like to become a partner with us, all of that is there. We don't really push money here, but we do want to give people an opportunity to partner with us because we are building an army. All right, let's get back to this.
Well, I just want to say thanks to Alicia for that sweet message yesterday.
Yeah, Alicia's one of our partners.
Very kind.
But we do want to give a special shout out to Alicia because she made a video telling us Happy Pastor Appreciation Day.
And that was very sweet.
And that meant a lot to us. But let's just read this and then go to the next one, because the next one is going to blow your mind. Hundreds of activists staged a sit-in at the Statue of Liberty on Monday afternoon, demanding an immediate end to Israeli-Hamas war. Dressed uniformly, as Sandy pointed out, in black, the protesters with Jewish Voice for Peace gathered at the pedestal shortly before 1 p.m. when they dropped massive banners with calls for ceasefire. The whole world is watching. Never again anymore. And they chant. But I want to show you this next one because this is another example of what's going on. Going back to what we said.
Ricky,
thank you, Ricky, for End Time Headlines. Please follow him. Which, by the way, he'll be with us Thursday night on the Kingdom Intelligence Report right here. As the Israeli Defense Forces continue their ground operations in Gaza, cities across the world on Saturday observed a wave of pro-Palestinian protests. In the U.S. Capitol, demonstrators called for the elimination of Israel, and vandalized the gates of the White House. And listen, in a video from the rally, the demonstrators could be heard chanting, "We don't want 2 states, we want 48."
As in 1948.
Exactly. In reference to the assault on 5 Arab armies in Israel just after it declared statehood, they also threw red paint and fence. Remember, they was declared a country in 1948, and immediately
May 14th.
5 countries attacked them. So they said, we don't want 2 states, we want 48. And this is a video of it. Like I said, I'm not responsible for anything that you hear.
We don't want 2 states. We want 48. We want 48. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
So okay, 48 is not a ceasefire. 48 is an offensive attack against Israel. So that alone is stupid. But watch this. Like I said, you're going to see the F word written on here. But this is somebody that says this is the embassy of Israel in the United States. They tweeted, in our backyard, death to Israel and glory to the martyrs among the violent anti-Semitic graffiti on the Washington, D.C. What do you call it? I just said it. The Washington, D.C. Embassy. Look at this. This is in our capital. This is in our capital. I mean, you're walking down. You're going to your nation's capital, and this is spray painted everywhere. The protests targeted U.S. President Joe Biden for his pro-Israel stance in the war against Hamas terror group, and of course, since then he's backed off, now calling for a ceasefire and so forth. This is a crazy world, and it's about to get crazier.
Yes.
But I always want to jump in live. I've never been able to do this. To my friend, my fellow pastor, and my friend, Pastor Mike Signorelli, let me tell you something. There's a line being drawn in the sand. There is darkness and there is light. And I thought, how amazing. I don't even know how he threw this together. But in New York, they just had a anti-Israel protest march in New York City. And I'm going to take you live to New York City right now. If you're watching this live, this is where me and you stood, Sandy. This is the steps of Times Square.
And this is Mike Signorelli's wife. That's
his wife. Now, this is in the past. This is not live right now, but I'm going to click and go live. So if you are walking the streets of New York City tonight, this is what it looks like.
Wow.
Come on, somebody.
Beautiful.
They're taking it over for Jesus. Look at that. That's New York City right now, live. Oh, God, I feel the Lord. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a line being drawn in the sand. And I know you came here just for news, but let's don't forget who we are. We're kingdom people. We're kingdom people. And let me tell you, there is a line being drawn in the sand. You better choose a side. And I love the people that have the fire and the boldness to say, you know what? You go protest, we're going to worship. You look at that crowd.
My goodness.
You see people of every race, all ages, and they are pushing in, and they are worshiping God in the middle of Times Square. Right now, live as we are talking.
This is unbelievable.
So we will go back, me and Sam will go back and watch it all. And I encourage all y'all to go back and watch that. Is that not crazy?
It's absolutely crazy.
I mean, he's got so much boldness.
Yes. I mean, that's an area where you can probably see just about anything imaginable.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what I saw when I was there. But that is so encouraging to see that.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
I just wanted y'all to know that darkness is not winning. Darkness is not winning, so we don't have the spirit of fear. Okay, so this, I know it's, if you watch this show, you're like, that's all y'all talk about, scaring us to death. Well, we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to open your eyes to the truth, because you're not going to be told the truth anywhere else. Yeah. But we're always going to try to bring it back to you and tell you we're opening your eyes to the truth, not for fear, but so that you would know how to prepare, fight and pray and stand for your family. Yeah. Amen? Can I get an amen somewhere?
Amen.
And I want to say thank you to all our partners, whether you partner with us right here on YouTube by clicking that join button, or you go to our website and partner with us. That means the world to us, and we just want to give you a shout out.
Yes.
Let's get back into the news, Sandy. This right here is really major escalation. The big guns. The United States, either today or yesterday, actually just sent.
I think that yesterday it turned up in the
Middle East.
The Suez?
It says that the U.S. nuke sub arrives in the Middle East in a message to Iran after a threat they made to hit America hard if there is no Gaza ceasefire. A U.S. nuke sub came in there and said the American military has said in an unusual announcement the move can be seen as a deterrent in the regional adversaries, as Iran said the U.S. will be hit hard if there's no ceasefire in Gaza. Yep. And it says a handout pictured by the U.S. military appears to show a guided missile submarine on deployment. Our advice to the Americans, this is from Minister of Defense Mohammed Asciante said, our advice to the Americans is to immediately stop the war in Gaza and implement a ceasefire. Otherwise, they will be hit hard. And on Sunday, United States, thank you for that super chat, Kane Glenn.
Oh, yes.
Love you,
Kane
son. U.S. Command said an Ohio-class submarine was entering its area of responsibility as Israel enters its 31-day of war. And on November 5th, an Ohio-class submarine arrived. Let's see if it says here exactly where it arrived to. It goes on to say, this post did not name the submarine, but the U.S. Navy does have 4 Ohio-class guided missile subs, also known as SSGNs. These are former ballistic missile subs converted to fire up to 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles rather than nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. The military welcomed the deployment of the American nuke subs, saying it will be stabilizing for the Middle East.
So they had 4 in the U.S. Navy fleet, 4 of these?
4 of these, yes.
So, yeah, we don't know the name, but it did arrive into the Suez Canal, I believe, on Sunday. And like you said, it can unleash 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles. And, wow.
I mean, come on. I'm sorry. This is not just for show. No. You don't take the USS Ford and the Eisenhower that is there now, 2 of the most prolific and powerful naval vessels in the world, and you have thousands of troops there now, and then you've got. I mean, we looked at the list last week. I don't remember how many it was. It's like 50 or something like that.
I don't think it was 50, but I think it was at least close to 30.
Wow! And now submarines. I mean, I'm sorry. Are you just trying to just move things around and spend money? Or are you trying to tell us something big is coming?
I think we'll be talking about Russian subs later on in the night if we're able to get to it. But this next story, please pay attention. Everyone, please listen to this next story.
This is insane, y'all.
Yeah.
This is insane. Just look at the headline.
Yes.
Israel, this is dated yesterday. Yes. Israel shoots down the first missile in space. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It says what you think it says.
Yeah, it's strategery. And seriously, though, strategery on a level that we're not accustomed to. So that's what this article is about.
In a first, Israel shoots down a ballistic missile in space. Now listen to this. Israel has just made an important step in warfare. The Arrow missile defense system has shot down a ballistic missile outside of Earth's atmosphere, which is the first time warfare has taken place in space that we know of.
Right.
This was an Iranian missile launched from Yemen by the Iran-backed Houthis, which tells you what kind of power they actually have. Okay, think about that. Who have declared war on Israel. This missile traveled out of Earth's atmosphere in hopes of avoiding all radar. And this would have been a surprise attack. This flew nearly 1,000 miles over the Arabian Peninsula outside the atmosphere and would then turn down, targeting the Israeli port city of Eilat. This was not one of those propaganda stories from Ukraine, how they shot down 6 unstoppable Russian missiles in a single day. Nothing that comes in Ukraine is trustworthy, blah, blah, blah. This is the first missile to be shot down outside the atmosphere, and it has ushered in a new level of warfare.
Yeah, very interesting.
That is crazy.
CJ says interesting. I wonder how many other people are just thinking this is getting crazier by the day.
I mean, and then all of a sudden, people mocked Trump when he said we need a space force. And people's like, ooh, Space Force. And they even made a stupid Netflix show about it. I never watched it. But they mimicked the mocking.
I think there's 2 seasons at least.
I've never watched it. I don't have no desire to watch it. But you know, there's probably a lot more going out in space than we know.
I would think so.
Yeah. But for them to admit, for that to break out and admit that, watch this, a Muslim country that the whole world, when you hear these names of these countries, you just think of third world countries, of which they are, but you don't think about technology. They had the technology, Sandy, to fire a missile, thinking.
Well, they're in cooperation. Okay, you're talking about Iran.
Yeah.
In cooperation with Yemen. Is that not far south of Saudi Arabia? Like way down? And they're working together?
Yeah.
had to transport this thing all the way far south. I don't know how many miles.
Yeah.
And they're launching it from Yemen.
Yeah, exactly. And then they fired straight up
To avoid radar.
Outside of the atmosphere in the edge of space. And they were going to fly it across space and then come back down through Israel and through their atmosphere.
Yes.
And Israel had enough ability to see it through their technology and fired their missile. Wait a minute, let's don't forget. They shot it down in space.
Yep.
They didn't shoot it down as it was coming back out of space. They shot their deterrent into space. So you understand what this article is saying. It's not just the first time that a missile that's reported.
Thank you, DRW, for that super chat.
Yes, thank you for that super chat.
Appreciate that
so much.
very much. We need it
It's
so
not
badly.
just the first time that they've admitted that it went into space. It's the first time it was actually taken out in space.
Yep. And I would.
What?
It'd be awesome if we could stay on this high, but this very next story is like
it shows you that you got great things working.
Great things and some not so great things.
But this article, let's just go and get to it, and I'm gonna point something out.
Yes.
Because we hear a lot about the Iron Dome, but we're getting reports that the Iron Dome is malfunctioning at times. And let's look at this video here. Now I think you're going to hear an F word on this one. Okay.
Oh, boy.
I believe you're going to hear an F word. Whoever said it, pray for me. Okay, let me listen. So this is so that's in Israel. That is the Iron Dome that was fired up to take out a missile, and it turned and came down and exploded on Israel itself. And this goes on to say that the air defense missiles severely malfunctioning and coming down into residential areas of Israel. It says the flash traffic coming in. Intel claims that this is suddenly and very obviously. Thank you for that super sticker, Pamela.
Yes, thanks,
what a blessing.
Pamela.
This is suddenly and very obviously becoming widespread, perhaps a system-wide issue. But here's the thing. Usually the Iron Dome operates individually, but something seems to be taking place where growing numbers of them are doing what you have seen in this video just now. Reports claim these malfunctions are not limited to a specific launch or even a specific geographical area, but claims something is clearly wrong.
So are we talking about a hack?
That's what they're saying. They're saying, is it possible that someone has done something to the Iron Dome system to render it unreliable or worse, completely ineffective? Much of Israel will be left literally defenseless if this actually happens. And the article goes on to say that the Iron Dome missile is misfiring. The system has been hacked. And that's another video there, and I believe that might be the one that has the F word in it. But the moment when 5 Hezbollah missiles, or this might be it too, but I want to show you this one here. This is 5 Hezbollah missiles that the Iron Dome missed. And this is what will happen to the whole nation of Israel if the Iron Dome malfunctions. There's one. Then you hear the sound. There's another one. These are missiles coming from Gaza, successfully hitting. Look at those, successfully hitting Israel. They've not stopped. They're calling for a ceasefire, but the missiles from Hamas have not stopped. They're continuing, and the only reason you don't hear about more Israeli deaths is because the Iron Dome system and the Iron Beam that we talked about is being effective. But now they're saying that it's been hacked because, we reported here, and a lot of other people are reporting now, that on October 7th, one of the things that a lot of the deep dark web people were admitting is that there were groups that were pro-Palestinian that hacked the systems of Israel on that day to make them think something else was happening. And then remember, a few days later, they were able to hack into the alert system of Israel and fake an attack from Hezbollah. And thank you for that super chat, Willow.
That's amazing.
That's a big one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You just don't know how much we love and appreciate your love for us. But what I'm saying is that's a part of the warfare now, is the hacking. And if you hack the Iron Dome, obviously something is it's never malfunctioned like this before, never. But now is system-wide, is beginning to start malfunctioning. What does Israel have at that point then? They have nothing.
They have nothing, and they're surrounded by multiple countries that hate them and want to destroy them.
Exactly.
It's a bad situation.
Exactly. And
But for God.
But God. That's right. But God. And that is still the Holy Land. FBI director warns terror threat here in the United States has reached a whole other level. That's in quotes.
We may have touched on this last week, but this article is at least 4 days old. But again, pay attention. You need to listen to this.
Yeah. Over Israel-Hamas war warns of sleeper cells and border invasion continues. It is time to be concerned. We're in a dangerous period. The threats of domestic terrorism are rapidly rising in the United States, according to the Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI Director Christopher Wray, who recently articulated this fear during a Senate Homeland Security on October 31st. We're in a dangerous period. He goes on to say, we have seen that already with the individual we arrested last week in Houston, who'd been studying how to build bombs and posted online about his support for killing Jews. And with the tragic killing of a 6-year-old Muslim boy in Illinois and what we're investigating as a federal hate crime, I know our Jewish families all across the state, all across the country are pretty scared to death right now. And let me just tell you that what is happening with this anti-Jew hatred, it is like a dormant demon that was around during the Holocaust.
Yeah, we're back to like 80-something years ago.
Yeah.
The whole thing in the Nazi Germany, where there was just this growing hatred, and we all know what it blossomed into. But my goodness, are we repeating history?
We are. And we are repeating history. And remember what we've told you here. There's no new demons. There's no new demons being created. The demons that are here now are the demons that's always been here. And so the demons that worked on Germany and worked on Hitler are working all around the world again.
Right.
I saw this video the other day where they were playing black and white newsreels, and then they were playing things that are on TikTok, the things that they were saying in Germany, the things that they're saying now to your children and to you on TikTok were almost verbatim. It's like that demon has rose up again, and instead of one Hitler, there is a spirit of Hitler that is sweeping this whole world right now. Of course, we know what the Bible prophesies on that. Let me say one other thing, because I understand that innocent Palestinians, innocent Israelis, innocent people are dying that don't want a war. We know that. We know any war that's ever happened, innocent people die in the war.
Yeah,
so
they're pawns to a certain degree.
So we pray for that. But I'm going to tell you something. This is not going. This may get me shadow banned. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen with this video when I say this, but I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to say this. Everyone keeps talking about a two-state solution, but here's the reality: the Palestinian people do not want a two-state solution. I don't care what they say; they do not want that, because what they say is there will never be a two-state solution unless Jerusalem is the exclusive capital of Palestine. And I can tell you right now, I don't care if it is a liberal or a conservative that is the prime minister of Israel, no one that loves the nation of Israel, that leads their country, is going to agree to evacuate Jerusalem and give it to another country. They believe that God gave that to them. And I want to show you this quote from Mahmoud Abbas, the leader of the Palestinian Authority. He says this: a Palestinian state like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, or any other Islam countries will not have or allow a single Jew to live there, is what he's saying. He said, so therefore, why would you expect us to have a nation where we would let them live in our nation? And so what I'm trying to tell you is I want you to think about Gaza. Gaza is got the water on one side. Yep. They've got Israel on their top and their right-hand side. Right. And right below them is Egypt. Okay? So, but you know what Egypt said? Egypt said, you're not coming.
No, they don't want
them. We don't want you. You're not coming.
Nobody wants these people, these citizens, whoever they are. What are they that no one wants to absorb them into their country? That is the one question I have.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the answer to that.
Please.
The answer is not that they are less people than the others. That no person is less than the other person.
I don't believe that.
But I'm telling you, I'm trying to say this. The reason the Egyptians, the reason the Jordanians, the reason the Lebanese, all these will not take them in is because they hate Israel. And the Palestinian people are the pawns of the Muslim world. If they absorb them, then they are saying
they lose that foothold, don't they?
Yeah, we lose the conflict.
Yep.
And we have to accept Israel as the nation, and we want to move on.
So they're not only down in the far southwest part where, we say, oh, there were 2 million people living there. They're also in the West Bank.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To some degree.
The
I don't
Palestinian
know.
people are in the West Bank and the Golan Heights.
In the Golan Heights. And this is, I don't know what percentage, but that's a pretty sizable chunk of Israel as well.
But what's this? They were permitted to work in Israel.
Yes, they were.
To be in the Knesset.
Yes.
Do you realize they have Arabs, Muslims that were permitted to vote on Israeli law in the Knesset?
Yep.
But not a single Jewish person lived in Gaza.
Yeah,
when the Jewish people pulled out in 2005, tore down all the settlements and everything, every single Jewish person. We were driving down the road on our way to see another site, and there was a sign on an exit. I couldn't believe that we read that. And it had it in Arab, it had it in Hebrew, and it had it in English. And it said, no Israeli citizen with citizens' papers are permitted to exit this exit. And there was a remember that? There was a town up on this hill. Thank you for that super sticker, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
And they were saying, if you're a Jew, do not come in here. We cannot guarantee your safety.
And contrast that
on the side of the road.
Contrast that with being in actual Jerusalem, and many of the shopkeepers are Muslim.
Yes.
They are Palestinian, working right alongside Jews right there.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
live together around each other. If they don't live in the same neighborhoods, they're working and living their lives amongst each other.
Amir Safadi said that they know exactly how many people came out of Gaza that worked in Israel. And they said they went back and looked at all the people that came out of Gaza that worked in Israel for years, and every single one of them was involved in the attacks. And he said now, he was crying. He was like, we trusted you. We were trying to show you the love of God, and you were gathering intelligence on us from the beginning. You were wanting to know where this one was going to go when they were picking up their kids and all of this. You followed us home. Every single one of you were gathering intelligence for this moment. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's a lot.
Listen, I know I'm going to get some hate blowback on this, but I'm just speaking truth. That's all I'm doing. I'm just speaking truth. Somebody's got to tell you the truth. And I'll tell you something else that somebody needs to go ahead and address right now, and that is TikTok.
Yes.
I'm talking about all social media is bad, but TikTok
hit it hard
is a target. It is a targeted item that the Chinese and I believe the powerful people have all got behind. Is TikTok influencing America's youth to be anti-religious? Now, I can't show you this video because she says MF in this video. But I'm going to show you that this is a very popular TikTok video going around right now. And I'll show you the beginning of it because I want you to see the beginning of it right here. I want to make sure that I'm at the beginning.
You wonder what Hamas would do to me in Gaza?
So
Bitch,
she's saying,
I'm far more likely to be
thank you for that super chat, Leela. Thank you so much. So the question is, and I think I'll be able to stop it in time. I want you to listen to what she says at the beginning. And this has been viewed millions, tens of millions of times by the youth of America and the world. Come on. Let's see. Ain't gonna play. All right. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see if I can refresh it. So I can refresh it. All right, let's see. Come on down here. Let's see, where'd she go? Let's see if we can try it again.
You wonder what Hamas would do to me in Gaza? Bitch, I'm far more likely to be in danger by Israel in Gaza than I am by Hamas. If Hamas had me, they would probably make sure I was okay. They would probably comfort me. They'll probably feed me, make sure I had medical attention, make sure I was doing okay. How do I know that? Because
she was about to say, because those MF Jews would have murdered me or whatever. I can't remember what she
She's
said.
probably drinking the Kool-Aid because she's got at least a 50% chance of all those things not happening, if not greater.
Exactly.
Because
But
they
she's
love
been programmed.
She's been programmed. They love to withhold water and food and medicine and medical care from people because they are using these people. They are human shields if need be.
So look what she said. I'm far better off with Hamas, which is a designated terrorist group, than I am with Israel. It goes on to say that from October 23rd to October 30th, posts on TikTok featuring the hashtag Stand With Israel received 64 million views, while posts with hashtag Stand With Palestine received 285
more
million.
than 4 times the amount.
Yes.
And goes, well, I'll just wait till you get. Well, it's right there.
Moreover, TikTok's data reveals that 87% of the people viewing posts featuring Stand With Palestine are under 35, while only 66% of those featuring Stand With Israel are under 65.
66%.
Okay.
What an interesting
So watch this
number.
quote. ByteDance, which is the owner, has developed the most successful social media algorithm ever. Technologist Jeffrey Kane said, under Chinese law, the algorithm and the people who run it must report to the Chinese Communist Party. TikTok's pro-Palestine content is far outperforming pro-Israel content because the algorithm has decided so.
Of course.
I'm telling you, this is an evil app. This is an evil app.
Yeah, there's no agendas here, though.
No. No, listen, I gave this example. I don't know if it was at our church just recently or another church I was preaching at. I gave the example of, somebody in my church sent me a worship video. I was not on TikTok, and I'd heard stay off of it. But
this was last night.
Okay, I was talking about last night. Yeah.
Which, by the way, we need to appreciate.
Yes, thank you so much, Pastor
Keith and Ashley. Oh,
thank you for that super stick again, Kevin.
Again, wow.
Thank you, Kevin.
But Keith and Ashley Owensby at Valley View.
Yep, in Sylacauga, Alabama. Had us last night.
We were there last night.
Hope some of them maybe from their church are watching. But I was talking about this, and I was talking about how somebody sent me a video, said, man, it's a powerful video. You got to watch this. It's only on TikTok. Watch this. And they said, listen, you ain't got to subscribe. Watch it. So I watched it. And they sent me another one. I watched it. So I just said, okay, I'm going to go sign up for this just so I can watch these things because people in my church are sending me these videos. I have no desire to post on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So I watched the worship video, watched the preacher. And by the way, you don't have to scroll on that one. It just automatically scrolls for you. And that's the power of it. So you just sit there and look at it. And it scrolled from worship video to a preacher that I liked. And then the very next one was basically almost a completely naked woman dancing in front of me and everything. And then it went right back to a worship video. And I thought, how in the world did the algorithm think that I've liked and hearted all these worship videos that I also wanted to look at that? Because it ain't about what I want to look at. It's about what they want me to look at.
Exactly.
And that's what programming is.
Come on.
Ding, 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 ding. Boom, drop the mic.
Wow.
I'm on fire tonight.
Literal fire.
I am fire.
Fire.
That's what the kids told us Sunday.
They
we got to
did.
update our words. We can't say fire. We got to say fire. Fire.
Can we still say that's so fire?
I don't think so.
Can't say that.
I don't think so. They told me I can't say you the bomb anymore.
That's been over.
What?
Yeah.
You still the bomb to me.
Can I be thebomb.com?
You are the bomb.com, baby. Remember when I told my kids, I said, we're going to make up. Remember when my kids were in school, I said, I'm going to make you all the coolest kids and all. Thank you for that super sticker, DRW.
DRW?
Y'all
wow.
on fire. Y'all on fire.
Y'all showing some love tonight.
So I told my kids, I'm going to make y'all the coolest kids in school. Y'all going to make up a new word. It's going to go viral. And I said, y'all go there and somebody says something good. You say, that's the Bomarusa.
Oh, I remember.
Remember that? Remember the Bomarusa? I made that word up.
Bless their hearts.
And they looked at me, both of them, and they said, Dad, we're not saying that. I said, it's so cool. You would invent a word. And they're like, we're not saying that.
No.
Okay, I got shut down.
Yeah.
Security experts warn that open borders, you think, will lead to a U.S. terror attack. Listen to this. Border Patrol agents have found an improvised explosive device at the U.S. border with Mexico. And security experts warn that lax enforcement on immigration laws will invite terrorist attacks on American soil in the very near future. Border control, as we just said, has recovered these things. Discovery comes as officers encountered 736 people on the U.S. terror watch list this year. 736 people on the U.S. terror watch list on the border, and 286 people on the terror watch list between ports of entry in the last 3 years, compared to 11 in the 3 years prior in the Trump administration. So you can say what you want to say, but there seems to be an empowerment in the mindset of people that we can get through that. Thank you for that super sticker, Kevin.
Thanks.
My goodness.
This is amazing.
What a blessing you guys are.
We might get some new cameras yet.
My goodness. Wow. That's amazing. So yeah, Sandy, I mean, we're not trying to make you afraid to go to Walmart and all this kind of stuff, but the truth is,
no.
There's stuff going on that you need to be
have
afraid.
A level of
Not afraid, but you need
awareness
to be aware.
no matter where you go. Crime in our little area is ticking up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're talking anywhere from car break-ins trying to steal your car to murder.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I heard today? I watched the video, and I'd already heard this on the local news. And to all the ladies out there, I want to tell you, you may have seen this, but I want to go and tell you that human traffickers are on a next level too, and evil-minded people. But this is what they're doing. And this meme was this lady sitting in the car, and she goes, listen, in the last 2 weeks, one each week, I have been pumping gas, and while I'm pumping gas, a man has approached me at the gas station and asked me if I can help him. He sort of had a different language and was pretending like he didn't know what he was doing. Can you help me make my credit card work? I saw you use your credit card. And she said the first time, I really spent a lot of time telling him. And then the second time when it happened the next week, I realized, wait a minute, this man's driving a car. He's in America. He's pulling up to a gas station. You're going to tell me he don't know how to use his credit card? And and this lady, thank you for that super sticker,
Thanks, Alicia. Wow.
So
do you think, or did she think he was trying to lure her over towards his car?
Absolutely. Because he said, can you come over here and show me what you're saying? And the video goes on to say that the FBI actually released a statement this week and said, women, be on the lookout for any man asking you to assist them for anything. And another guy made a video and said, let me just tell you something, ladies. Let me say this to all the women out there. Mm-hmm. No real man's going to ask you come look at his car. Wow. No real man's going to ask a woman to come show him how to use a credit card, all that kind of stuff. So, ladies, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to scare you, but there is an increased demonic attack against us, and we have to be safe.
Come on. Need to tell it.
Yeah.
We have to be aware. It's a good idea. Don't be out at night by yourself. Even if you can take someone with you during the daytime, I would advise it. If you think someone is following you around, go find security.
Yes. And
don't be afraid to ask if someone can walk you to your car, whatever.
Yeah.
It's getting treacherous.
If somebody comes up and knocks on your window,
don't roll the window down.
Do not
don't
roll
open
the window
door.
Listen, I'm a man. I'm a real red-blooded American man. You hearing me? I ain't rolling down my window.
Exactly.
And I'm not. I might have something in the car with me that could be help me out a little bit. Second Amendment. But I still ain't rolling down my window. I ain't stupid, okay? I'll talk to him through the window, and then I'll say, no, and I'll drive away. Because I'm telling you, I got too much to do. I got to live and not die.
Yes.
Come on, somebody.
Come on.
But before we go to Zelensky, we're going to shift from Israel, and we're going to tell you something. Oh, that Zelensky. I'm telling you, there's something about him, y'all. There's just something about him. Let's check in one more time, live in New York City. How cool is this? This is going on right now. There he is. There's
Papa
my man.
Siggs. Come on, Papa Siggs.
Look at it. This is in downtown Times Square, New York City. Tell me God's not moving.
Great.
Papa Siggs. Papa Siggs, what they call him. His name's Signero. They call him Papa Siggs. What's that he always said? He goes, I'm feeling a little Jehovah sassy.
Yeah.
A little Jehovah sassy there. But let me just tell you another kind of sassy. This guy right here, he's so full of himself.
Ridiculous.
Let me tell you what he come out and said this week. He said, it's not the right time for elections in Ukraine.
Well, how convenient. seeing as that you're sitting in the office.
Exactly. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a Monday address that it's, quote, not the right time for elections in Ukraine as the end of his 5-year term approaches. Zelensky added in the Monday video address that Ukraine should not have to deal with elections as it continues to attempt to fend off Russia, which invaded Ukraine in February of 2022. He previously had not ruled out Ukraine holding a presidential contest. Thank you for that super chat,
Oh,
Kevin.
my goodness.
Kevin!
Kevin!
Kevin! Kevin, you're blowing our mind tonight.
We love it.
And he goes, in a presidential contest through the elections are currently suspended in the country under martial law. And finally, the waves of any political division, things must stop. We must realize now's the time of defense. Now's the time of the battle, blah, 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 blah. It's just nanny. What was that? Kramer, not Kramer, but what's his name on Seinfeld used to go, I'm having a brain freeze here. Not wham, but okay, whatever. No, it's like when you're just talking and you're just saying stuff.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada. Okay.
George.
But he goes on he basically starts crying. He goes, look, I can't not go through election and I need more money. I mean, that's basically what he said. We can't have an election and I need more money.
Well, last year,
yeah,
he went ahead and told Biden, we appreciate it, but we'll be back. We'll be needing more.
Yeah. And you hear what he told Trump this week? While Trump's standing trial in New York City. Oh, and by the way, did you hear Trump? They said they won't allow cameras in it. They said Trump went off today. He put him on the stand. They said he looked at the judge and said, "You are ridiculous." He goes,
I missed that.
Yeah, thank you for that super sticker, DRW.
Nice. Thanks, DRW.
He goes, I deserve a jury trial. I want a jury. He said he looked at the DA and said, all you're doing is trying to run for governor, just trying to get political. He said, this is ridiculous. And they said as he's walking out of the courtroom, he was still yelling.
What?
Yeah. And he said the judge told his lawyer, you need to do something with your client.
Do something with your client. Well.
Wow.
I mean.
Yeah, I'd like, can you imagine trying to do something with Donald Trump?
Oh,
wow. But what I'm saying is while all that's going on, he puts a post out and says, Zelensky says, come to Ukraine. You said you could finish this war in 24 hours, but you can't manage this war, but I invite you to come.
Come on.
Let's see what happens. All right, speaking of Russia,
yes.
Russia is testing and has tested.
Yeah, more nuclear submarine talk right here.
Exactly. Bulava intercontinental ballistic missile from new strategic nuclear submarine.
How about that? Russia's defense ministry announced Sunday it has successfully tested an intercontinental ballistic missile from its new nuclear submarine, the Imperator Alexander III. What an interesting name for a submarine. According to the Federation of American Scientists, the missile just tested can carry up to 6 nuclear warheads. Firing a ballistic missile is the final element of state tests, after which a decision will be made to accept the cruiser into the Navy. The recent missile testing comes amidst Russia's continuing invasion of Ukraine and Russia-U.S. relations at their worst since the Cold War. Relations are at zero, or I would say below zero. And I'm telling you, we always heard about the Cold War when we was in school. It's a hot war now. I believe we're actively involved in war with Russia and Ukraine. I really do. And I've shared with you that I've listened to more than one person talk about the technology in Russia is at least 20 years ahead of us that we cannot catch up with. That's mind-boggling
even here, but that's true. That's what I heard too.
Cannot catch up with them at this point.
How did they have a supersonic missile and we don't?
Because we went to sleep.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
We got lazy.
We went woke.
We got lazy. We just stopped, putting importance on staying ahead, being out and being in the forefront, and they have surpassed us according to reports. So.
Yep. According to reports, think about, we keep going back to that China video. I'm about to do an update on it, but you need to, if you haven't watched it, and even if you watched it, you need to go back and watch it again because there's so much stuff in that video that we're seeing happen now. It's called We Will Be at War with China by 2024. Look for it in my videos. Maybe I'll even link it down below. Help me remember to link that down below. Make it easy to go watch it.
Let's do
that. But one of the things we talked about is this confidential informant told me that China already has missile bases in Cuba already. And I believe it was, they've got it locked in on the top 50 targets, of which we found out, shocking to know that we had 2 of them in our state, in Alabama. But when I immediately thought of that when I saw this article, Xi Jinping meets with his, quote, good comrades from Cuba to heighten strategic ties. Cuban Prime Minister Manuel Mariano met with genocidal dictator Xi Jinping in Beijing. Look at all these people that's coming to Beijing. Vladimir Putin went to Beijing. Rocket Man went to Russia. I mean, the whole world's going to Russia and China, not on digital. They're going and sitting down with them in closed rooms. Something is being planned, Sandy. Why would you need to leave Cuba in the midst of all this going around the world and sit down? But watch this. To expand cooperation between the 2 communist dictatorships to a, quote, higher level. Okay. A top Cuban Politburo official with the ruling Communist Party met with Xi as part of a week-long tour of China, expected to culminate on November 9th. His first official visit to the Asian nation since he took office in December 2019. His international tour will see him depart for Belarus, which is Russian, later in the week, where he will stay till November 12th. The Cuban Prime Minister's Chinese tour occurs nearly 1 year after the Castro's regime figurehead Miguel Diaz-Canel met with Xi in late 2022 on a similar visit. China is both Cuba's largest trading partner and one of the ailing communist regime's crucial financial lifelines that ensures its continued existence. But here's what I want to point out. More than anything, it is 70 miles from the continental U.S.
Exactly. So going all the way back to the early 60s, Russia had set up missile launchers.
Yep.
Now, they had to be dismantled.
Yep.
Supposedly. But that was a scary day. Scary time.
The famous Cuban Missile Crisis.
Right. Yep.
And we're probably, as notorious as that time was, documentaries, movies, of all this been made about, we're probably in a more dangerous situation now.
I was just sitting here thinking that. You would think.
I mean, China, think about it. Cuba, in the middle of all of this, goes to China, sits down with the main man in China, and then he don't go to Russia, but he goes to Belarus, which there are many Russian officials there and war officials there, and going to meet there, and then go back to Cuba.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, 70 miles right off our coast.
Yep, 70 miles is what we can't forget. Now, speaking of our country and around the world, the economy is about to see a lot of things happening, and this is just unbelievable. $40 billion in unrealized losses have now hit the largest banks. JP Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup face exposure to U.S. Treasuries. JP Chase has quietly revealed tens of billions of dollars in losses on securities, according to a new report on the company's overall balance sheet. The banking giant is now stuck with roughly $40 billion in bond losses as of the quarter 3 of the year, which is a 20% higher than the previous quarter that already had major losses. The new numbers were located in a footnote on the firm's third quarter financial supplement and were higher than expected $34 billion loss. Now, when you pair that with the next article, another U.S. bank is quietly shut down as bank runs persist and deposits decrease. The banking tremors in the United States have not ceased, and now another bank has quietly collapsed, receiving very little press coverage.
Yeah.
The latest bank to fall is Iowa Trust and Savings
How
Bank.
convenient that it happened over the weekend, right?
Exactly.
And open up Monday morning, you get a brand new name.
Get a brand new name. That's right. Citizens Bank, Sac City, Iowa, was closed today by the Iowa Division of Banking. Now, but what I want to go back to you is, I don't have an article on it, but did we not experience major banks and deposits being affected this week?
Was it Bank of America? People said that their deposits were not showing up in
Wells
their
Fargo too.
accounts. It definitely was reported Wells Fargo, as well as another bank that I cannot remember the name of that bank. But yeah, people were angry. They were scared.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
could not see the deposits of their paychecks into their accounts. They couldn't access their money, and it was this complete lockout in some situations. So what's happening here? What's going on?
Well,
is this a dry run for our future?
Yeah, it is, and it's also a dry run. We've been talking about this ever since we went on the air here about the cashless society that's coming. So you got to have some kind of bank failures. You got to have money failures to integrate CBDC, to integrate digital money, which is of course programmable money, and then of course now you talk about Brics, but we're talking about many things have happened in Russia, China is what we're talking about, but Brics is the organization that has all them in it.
Right.
You got Brazil, Russia, what is that? India? Is that right?
Brazil, Russia.
I can't remember what I is.
China.
I know China, but I can't remember what I is. Is that India?
In India.
Yeah. Okay. And then South Africa.
So just today, I was listening to a scenario of someone laying out, in one of these weekend events. It's just so convenient for them that this happens on a Friday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it plays out over the weekend, and then Monday morning, now Citizens Bank is going to be called so-and-so.
Yeah.
Because government regulators have come in and taken over. We're going to set this thing straight. But a scenario laid out that a bank holiday occurs, but it ends up lasting 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then when that's over, maybe we're straight into CBDC land, or, it just bumps us into the next process to move us further down the line to get us ready for CBDC. But,
absolutely.
There is importance in at least trying to keep a little spending cash on hand. If the ATM is not working, if you can't go into your bank and access, and if you're like us, our bank that was in our city is now closed. And now we have to go to the next city over if we need to actually go to the bank, on-site bank, to do business.
And I know people are like, wah, that's first world problems. You got to go to the next little city to do your banking. Well, it is aggravating, but it is also a sign of what is coming. So more and more and more and more of them are going to close down. And by the way, if you hadn't hit that like button, do it now, do it now, do it now. It's going to take you 1 second to just hit that thumbs up button and help us out. Don't cost you anything. And if you hadn't subscribe to our channel. Help us grow the Big Picture channel.
And as Clifton said, not only your paychecks, but Social Security. Those who are getting direct deposits into their accounts of, payments like that. Couldn't access that either.
No, exactly. So, which means you can't buy groceries, which means if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're in a mess. But let's go back to this article here on Brics, because Brics just came out today. Brics nears agreement on joint currency, awaits China and India's endorsement, says ex-Russian minister. It goes on to say that Brics alliance is close to launching a joint currency that we covered a couple months ago that was in the works. It's CBDC, with technical preparations complete and awaiting political approval, especially from China and India. Russia, set to lead Brics next year, plans to convene an international conference to finalize the introduction of the new currency, which is designed to be stable and more attractive than major global currencies, meaning the U.S. dollar, due to its backing by a dual basket system. So we have talked about the people around the world, nations around the world that have been trading in U.S. dollars are moving away from U.S. dollars, and more countries, the countries that are not even in Brics yet, have said, we want to be a part of the Brics CBDC.
Yes. I wish I knew how long the list was of those who are waiting for consideration to officially become a part of Brics. But, they're backed by actual gold.
Yeah, right.
Not just
We forgot about that.
Not
we forgot
just
about that. Yep.
the faith and confidence of the American dollar.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's backed by gold. What a concept.
It's hard to even think about. It really is.
Oh, when the chips fall, they keep falling. Doctors are now sounding an alarm on what they're calling a silent pandemic affecting children because of a growing antibiotic-resistant diseases. This has been deemed a silent pandemic. Antibiotics used to treat common childhood ailments are becoming less and less effective. Many of the antibiotics often used to treat infections like pneumonia, sepsis, meningitis, which children often contract, are now less than 50% effective. The study published in the Lancet Regional Health Southeast Asia said. The worst affected regions by this reduced efficacy are Southeast Asia and the Pacific, including Indonesia and Philippines. Antibiotics in the United States are also getting less and less effective. It is already affecting us in the U.S. This has been deemed a silent pandemic.
Wow.
Well, that's what happens when you prescribe pills for everything.
Overprescribe
Exactly.
antibiotics. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or maybe you don't take them correctly, which is also very important. If you have antibiotics, finish your prescription.
Yeah.
Take them correctly. I want to throw something else in here, going back to the previous story, and maybe someone can check me up on this. I think Iran is one of the last remaining countries that is not part of a central bank. And
I don't know.
I think that there is a big push to change that and to make sure
Yep.
that they become part of that system, because it's all about control.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
There has to be control.
And Iran's at the center of everything going on around the world right now. That would make sense.
It's definitely one of those big Middle Eastern countries. I don't think it's Saudi Arabia, but I think that there's a push to make sure that they become part of the whole system, obviously.
Wow.
For control.
Wow. Yeah, and not to mention, Alicia said, if you took the wham, what's happening to your immune system?
Right.
That's
Many people have been vaccine injured. And let's just talk about this. Here's another angle on this antibiotic story. A lot of our medications come from China.
Yes.
And I have to at least consider, are they making the antibiotics weaker? Is that also part of the problem? And that they can't be as effective? And the whole thing about the medication needs to be a consideration.
Yes.
If so much of our medications are coming from China,
Think about it.
we're already having a lot of problems going on.
Yeah.
We're already far, far too dependent on
yeah.
China for many things.
Many things.
So
Most everything.
Right. That's something to take into consideration.
It is. Absolutely it is. And the next wang is probably coming from there as well. Now, most of you know that we just elected a new Speaker of the House, and he's a very strong Christian. And I just want to, this is a random rapid fire article here. I just want to show you, this is what we're fighting. This is why we do what we do on here, so that you can know the true story instead of this stupid narrative.
Yep.
I want to read you something from Rolling Stone, what Rolling Stone magazine did to him. This is how Rolling Stone is covering the revelation that Speaker Mike Johnson, a Christian,
This is so underhanded.
it is so underhanded, uses accountability software to protect his family from porn. Okay? And by the way, you're not even supposed to say that word on YouTube. A lot of people bleep that out because the whole world, they're promoting it left and right, but you can't say the word to expose it.
We're working overtime to make sure that you see and get addicted to this, but don't say the word.
You can't say the word.
Oh my gosh, this is the height of hypocrisy and stupidity.
It is. Here's the regular reminder to you. In fact, do not take journalists. And here is your regular reminder that you, in fact, do not hate journalists enough, is what he said. Rolling Stone resurfaced a clip from a talk given by Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, where the Christian man discussed, this was at a church, how he keeps himself and his family safe from illicit images. If you are a Rolling Stone author who thinks no one would object to degeneracy, this apparently is too bizarre for you to comprehend. Now, before I show you this headline, let me tell you what it's about. It is a software that you can put on your phone that you have accountability partners. that they get a report sent to them automatically of if you went to any questionable site that's in their system. And if they did, you allow them to know that, and it comes to them, and now you know, I'm sorry, but you know that you've been exposed and you've got somebody that's going to come back and say, hey, what's going on here? So he's telling the church, listen to me. I'm going to go back, just me and you, and I'll come back to the article. He's telling this church in this video, I want to protect my son from this. So I put this app on my son's phone so that, thank you for that super chat, Kevin. Wow, man, I'm telling you, I got to send you something, Kevin.
Wow.
Okay, you're amazing. Now watch this. He said, I want to put this on my son's phone so that my son knows that I'm going to hold him accountable. But what I also did was I told my son, I want you to hold me accountable. So I'm going to make you my accountability partner on my software on my phone so that you can know what I've been looking at. Now look how Rolling Stone spun this. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, admitted that he and his son monitored each other's porn intake in a resurfaced clip from 2022. He admits that he and his son monitor each other's porn intake. What? This is how, if all you do is read the stupid headlines, this is how you get programmed. Look at what the liberals. This is the video of him explaining it. But then the liberals, I don't know if this one's got it. People start saying, Rolling Stone discovers that Christians are to pursue holiness and purity, blah blah blah. And it's Matt Walsh there, but I'll see if I can find the ones that's critical, the ones that took it and ran. Well, I don't know if this article's got it, but people started sharing it. Liberals started sharing it. I knew there was something creepy about him. He's grooming his son to be addicted to all this. And I'm like, did you watch the video?
Exactly.
This is what we're fighting.
Oh my goodness.
But wait a minute. What's happening in New York City?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to keep going back to it.
Nice break. Yeah,
Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, it just ended.
Oh, no.
It just ended. And if y'all don't know what we're looking at, let me just back it up. Look here. Woo! This just ended. All these people right now are live in downtown New York City. That's our friends right there. Mike Signorelli, that's his wife, that's the First Lady. Look at people. Don't tell me that God is dead. Don't tell me that God can't bring revival to New York City. The devil is a liar. I just thought I'd just throw that in the devil's face. That no matter how bad it looks, something good's happening, Sandy. Something good's happening.
It really is. That's great.
I'm loving going back to that. But you know what? We got to go back to the real world. Sorry. They're having fun in New York City. But down here in Alabama, we love our chicken. But now Tyson is recalling 30,000 pounds, wait a minute, of dinosaur-shaped nuggets, which are geared towards what? Children.
Yeah, children.
Look at there.
You know,
some of you may have them. I'm just telling you, I'm telling you, Tyson is sneaky, y'all.
There's a good chance we didn't need to be feeding those to our children anyway.
True. Is it even chicken?
But exactly.
Is it even chicken? I don't even know if it's chicken.
Oh.
I got a few other news items, Sandy, but you know what I think? Let's just do real quick. I guess because everybody loves to see this guy. Everybody loves him.
Oh yeah.
Ever so often we got something going on about Bill Gates. Look at that face. Is that not a face that just makes you feel so warm and fuzzy inside, to where you say, "I'm so thankful that all you care about is computers." Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Bill Gates is boasting, because he's the number one proponent of climate change, that he owns multiple private jets. And it's his guilty pleasure.
His guilty pleasure. He looks guilty right there.
He sure does.
I don't know what, but probably multiple things.
All I can say is, Alan, didn't kill himself. Prophet Alan.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. You think the algorithm can interpret a cough talk? I'm thinking cough talk.
Cough talk with Larry and Sandy.
That's where we say a lot of stuff, and then
Cough talk.
then we cough out the other things that we're trying to get around the algorithm. Cough talk. But wait a minute. What is that I hear? Deep out there somewhere.
It's that time again.
Jimmy! Supernatural AI update. That's such a great picture of us.
It is beautiful.
That's such a great picture. I tell you,
It's ridiculous, actually. I actually hate that picture every week. I do not want to see that picture, and I have to keep seeing it. That's not even me.
Oh, God.
It's some girl named Sierra. But anyway.
Oh, don't get CJ started in the live chat. That's all I'm going to say. Sierra, whatever.
Yeah.
So, the Prime Minister of the UK just had an AI conference.
Thank God.
And he brought in Elon Musk. And Elon, in the interview with Rishi Sunak.
Rishi, that's right.
Elon Musk described artificial intelligence as a magic genie that gives you any wishes you want, while warning people to be careful what you wish for.
We have for the first time. We will have for the first time.
Talk about speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Good grief.
Woo! It's hard to say exactly what that moment is, but there will come a point where no job is needed. And I do think overall that the potential is there for artificial intelligence, AI, to have most likely a positive effect and to create a future of abundance where there is no scarcity of goods and services. But it is somewhat of the magic genie problem, where if you have a magic genie that can grant all the wishes, usually those stories don't end well.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, including wishes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Be
careful what you wish for.
He is.
He's
just interesting.
I don't know how to figure him out.
He's a strange dichotomy, right?
Yeah.
So he can seem so compassionate and caring on the one side, but then on the other side, he's determined to control or possibly destroy the world. I don't know. And he just comes out there smoking.
Sorry. Keep talking.
You're just getting.
I'm reading the live chat. Hashtag free Sierra. Y'all don't even know. We got to do a whole show. If I can bring Sierra back, I'll co-host the show with Sierra. It's just okay.
If Sierra ever does return
I'll get kicked off
make
YouTube.
a repeat performance, she will have better hairstyle and better pictures.
All I know is that's when I'll be only on Rumble, which is a great segue. If you don't follow me on Rumble, go to rumble.com right now /Larry Ragland. Rumble.com /Larry Ragland. Because if Sierra returns, that may be too much for YouTube.
Okay. Whatever.
But, okay, so.
Oh, I like what Leanne says. Are we sure this guy isn't a robot?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, Zuckerberg, remember that little talk he was at and he said, when I used to be human. I am human. I'm human.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I'm human.
That's right. Wait a minute. I am human.
Like he's trying to convince himself and everybody. Wait, I am human.
Yes. Y'all remember back, when was it when the thing happened in Las Vegas that we're going to show them? Remember?
I think it was the beginning of May or the end of May. Someone else may know exactly.
Okay.
But yeah.
So it came out that this family had encountered Uncle Jimmy, aliens or something in their backyard. A lot of police body cams saw this green orb-looking thing crashing in, and then they went viral because they called the cops, not because they wanted to go viral. They didn't make a YouTube video or anything. This was the cops' body cams and all this picking this up, and it got leaked out that they were describing these entities that they supposedly saw. So I want us to go back real quick and review that, and then we had no idea until today, just looking some things up, that there was an update from the family because we thought they just completely disappeared. And but there's still something going on here. And let's go back here to this. This is just one of the local reports.
Mm-hmm. This is not the family's home or yard.
Okay.
This is the
one you sent me.
The Ring home capturing this?
You sent this.
A-ring cam,
Yeah.
but not.
It was the
not
streak
theirs.
seen across the sky, now seen around the world. This, as our 8 News Now investigators confirm, Metro actually set up cameras at this home where a family called 911 claiming to see aliens in their backyard. And tonight, a fierce debate is underway about the legitimacy of an alleged UFO crash. Good evening, I'm Janice Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Our 8 News Now investigators reporting about terrified members of a
Las Vegas. Police videos obtained by 8 News Now indicate Metro officers were among the witnesses.
One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious.
The appearance of the meteor seemingly triggered the events that followed. A frightened family called 911 and told police they had 10-foot-tall alien beings in their backyard. Officers responded to the home minutes later,
And
interviewed the
George
witnesses,
Knapp, if
canvassed
any of
the
you
area.
Follow him. He is the person who brought in 1989 the guy on the scene that was reporting about Area 51, the first words we ever really heard about Area 51. And he remains a journalist and a reporter in Las Vegas even to this day. So he's pretty reliable in his reporting, but he is going to dispute some of the things that were reported in these first days of this Las Vegas alien story. But I think if you can depend on just about anybody, you can rely on him.
So all I really wanted to do, though, I don't want to play this whole thing.
Right.
I just wanted to remind people of that event, because
Yes.
the real thing I want to show you is this article here that is an update that was a few weeks ago, about a month, a little
In
less
September.
than about a month ago.
Almost 2 months ago.
Las Vegas family releases bizarre drawings of UFOs that they claim landed in their backyard. The Kenmore family went viral earlier this year after calling 911 to report that two 10-foot aliens had landed in their backyard. The Las Vegas family broke its silence because they went into hiding. But back in September, they broke their silence to double down on claims that UFOs had landed in their backyard. And they showed off drawings that they had made. Now, I don't know if I would have shown these drawings when you see these drawings, but I mean, if I were to draw it, it would look worse than this. It would look like a little stick man is all it would be, because I'm horrible. They showed off their drawings that they had made of the apparent alien sightings. The Kenmore family, who went viral after calling 911, as we just said, you'll see the images. I believe I saw something that wasn't from Earth, the youngest son Joshua said. The family members created drawings of what they claimed to have seen. They also revealed that they saw a black Chevrolet Suburban with government plates on it soon after the extraterrestrial
Are you talking
encounter.
about the Men in Black?
The Men in Black.
I thought they drove black Cadillacs.
I
Anyway.
don't know. Maybe they upgraded. The family remained anonymous for months out of fear of being ridiculed, but said that since the UFO visit, strangers have flocked to their house to see where the aliens have landed.
I'll bet.
And some are even climbing over the fence. The family's lawyer, who has been hired, told Inside Edition that the family did not want that publicity. The only thing they was wanting to do is report to the police. So this is the great artist's drawing. I'm sorry. That is not a good drawing, but you know, I guess if that's the best you could do. I mean, it literally looks like something. Listen, with all due respect to the family, it almost looks like something my grandbaby would draw.
It does.
But I want to show you this. This is the family here, and I think Angel is the one on the left here.
I think so.
And he's the front left.
Is
And
Joshua?
Joshua is the
on
other
the
one.
right, the younger brother.
So the teenager went back inside and called the police. And he says, there's like an 8-foot person, has big eyes, that's looking at us, said to the operator, I swear to God, it is not a joke.
Not a joke.
And
he goes on to say, it's definitely not human.
Definitely not human.
In other stories and reports. And
this is supposedly the ring that was left by them. Of course, people disputed it, that it was just where a truck had turned around and all of that. But I was thinking that there was a video, but I guess I don't have that video.
And you know, part of what Angel said in that first report is I'm looking at it, but it looks blurry. It's not my eyes.
Yeah, it was
It's just that area of the backyard.
Yeah.
And as Jennifer is mentioning in comments, of course, we talked about, weeks and months ago that people were reported to be suffering from radiation sickness or some type of sickness from being close to this area.
Yeah.
And it
Several
made
in Las
them
Vegas
sick.
area. Yeah. And even Standeo has said that, you know, he obviously believes that these are demonic in nature,
right,
and that they come from other dimensions. And he said that one of the things in that dimension, of course, the other dimensions is the spirit realm, is that there seems to be a pattern of something like the blurriness to where they can affect frequencies.
A distortion. Yeah.
To almost hide where you can see something, but when they realize they're being seen, right, they have the ability to affect the natural realm to blur your ability to process what you're seeing.
So an easier way for them to, if you want to use the word obfuscate, is if these craft are real and they're often in the sky, they can shield or cloak themselves with cloud or cloud-looking coverage to hide from you. And a lot of times I will look at the sky, and most of the sky looks mostly normal, but you'll see a kind of blurry area in the sky, and I often wonder, am I seeing something? Is there something there behind that weird looking area of the sky? But if this really happened, I cannot imagine being this family. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about seriously cray-cray.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I have always been a skeptic of that there's beings coming from other planets. And Stan has helped me understand that people are seeing something. There's no doubt about it. And they are seeing a deception. They are seeing an assault against the creation of God. Yeah. And listen, even you can be one of those that's 100% believes that everybody that's saying they saw something is either crazy, liars, whatever, or they're seeing government things, all that. If you're 100% there, you have to also understand that there is a deception at play.
Sure.
And something is being rolled out to be revealed. And if you're a believer, then you know that the only thing in my mind that makes sense, and I'm very careful with the words "make sense," but if the Lord was to come back and take all his people with him away, what we call the rapture, if that was to happen, the one thing the world would believe is that it was in something to do with an entity helped the world by getting rid of these Christians. And that's what the narrative has been for so long. People in the churches believe that, and I believe that's what we're being set up for.
Okay, let's just lay it out here. The world is primed.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say to everyone out there, if they land in your backyard, do not get on board that craft.
Do not. Do not invite them in your home. Do not interact with them, because you are dealing with the devil.
Well, Billy Mitchell said if they land in his yard, he's going to pee his pants, because he said pee pants, because I saw that in chat.
Billy, what are you doing?
And we just want to say hello to Brad Graydon.
What's up, my man, Brad?
Brad's here
Pastor
with us
Brad
tonight.
He's got a great YouTube channel.
Yes.
Listen, you need to go look for his channel.
BGTV,
Brad Graydon TV. Go follow him. He's doing some amazing things.
Sweet baby Hope is already gone to bed for the night. Aww. You give her a kiss from us.
All right, listen, we got one more. We always save one more for you, and this one right here, mind-boggling. I'm telling you, life-changing. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
You're going to be glad you stuck around.
You are going to be glad that you did not miss the last one we got tonight. But before we go, we always try to remind you, go to LarryRagland.com, LarryRagland.tv. All of our videos are there. If you click LarryRagland.tv or go there directly, you'll see that you'll have direct access to all of our current and former videos that are out there. You can become a partner with our ministry. And, of course, all this is down in the description as well. Many of you have decided to do that. We appreciate that so, so much.
Wow.
You can become a monthly partner there on the same site. You can get our book. And, of course, you can go to our merchandise store.
Look, there's young Sandy right there and young Larry.
That's right. That's us. That's a little tiny movie version that was made of our book. That's me in the courtroom. And that's Sandy when she looked at me and said, "I see greatness in you." And that's what the book is about. And it is really, really
nice. Michelle's rebuking me. She said that was her.
Oh.
And Billy says, credit to Michelle. Pants.
Okay. Whatever. Y'all stop it. Stop it. Everybody just stop it.
Just stop.
Stop it. All right, so this last thing. Y'all remember right around Halloween that we revealed that the Ring doorbell system was trying to find extraterrestrials. They were trying to find Jimmy. Jimmy, he's on the most wanted list, and people were trying to find Jimmy, and they said, we will give up to $1 million if your Ring doorbell can capture aliens. And Sandy, I'm telling you, the reports started coming in from all over the world.
We clearly have some solid evidence here.
Solid evidence.
Solid.
Ring alien sightings video contest brings hilarious submissions. There's Jimmy. He says, I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
They'll leave no stone unturned for that car warranty.
And this one here is a little bit weird.
This is probably my favorite
It's
right
a little
here.
creepy here.
Look.
He's like, you want some candy? No, he's like, I don't want candy. He said, what do you want?
Give it to me.
He goes, what do you want? I want you. I don't want the candy. I want you.
No.
Wham! That's why you don't mess with Jimmy. If he comes to your house, do not interact with Jimmy. And he got witches
Is anyone
there.
home? I can't tell. I think there's a guy in there eating a sandwich.
What? I don't know what this is. I hadn't seen this part. Oh, this is a little freaky. What? Oh, look, he's in the bushes. They're trying to win $1 million.
Serious?
That's the best you could do? What in the world? This is weird. See, this is must-see TV. Must-see TV.
That was so lame. Me and Harper could have done better than that.
Exactly. We could have won $1 million. I mean, look, it says they will continue to, they said it looks like Ring will need to continue to search for alien visitors on Earth after the $1 million search for extraterrestrials ended last week with no further proof that aliens have visited our planet. But there were many video submissions. In the meantime, Ring did share some people decided to get creative, blah, blah, blah. And he goes on to say that some actually captured a real alien on their, if someone actually captured a real alien on the Ring camera, they would have qualified for $1 million, $50,000 annual for 20 years. But Sandy, no one was able to film Jimmy.
You're kidding. Wow.
Come on.
Well, people in our community are putting their Ring cameras to work. I'm getting alerts with pictures of cars
being stolen
that have been stolen, asking you citizen.
Yeah, we can't get the police to help us.
We can't get anything else done. If you see this car, will you please notify us?
Yeah, on our Ring notification thing. Yeah,
I'm not saying they can't get the police to do anything.
I didn't mean that.
But
I love our police.
We don't think that at all. We have great first responders, but it's just to that level. Okay, it's just like this is going on. Cars are being broken into. All kind of crimes happening. So we're just going to deputize you all out there to help us out.
Michelle, you and Billy need to get off this live chat, and y'all need to just get a cup of coffee and calm down.
Wow.
They're pointing out the anatomy of one of the aliens. Posterior. That's all I'm going to say.
The posterior.
Oh.
I'm sorry for hitting the table.
The gluteus maximus.
Okay.
I remember that from high school.
All right.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. I want to say thank you for all the super thanks and the super stickers, the super chats.
Amazing.
You guys were amazing tonight.
Yes.
We feel the love. We feel the love.
Yes.
Thank you. And don't forget, when we go off the air, because we are live, and when we go off the air, I'm going to put some links down there to take you to especially to that War in China video. You need to go back and watch that again. And one more time, let's just go out with this. Let's just go out with this, y'all, because this happened tonight in New York City, in downtown. Can you imagine?
Beautiful.
Is that not incredible? I mean, look, there's the steps, Sandy. There's the step. God, I feel the Holy Ghost right now. This was live tonight people praising God, saying, I see that you'll do it again, Lord, do it again. Where the streets were filled with anti-Israel, anti-Semitic protests just a few days ago, was filled with the glory of God tonight. So I want to give honor to Pastor Mike Signorelli, V1 Church, and all the ones that joined. That's his lovely wife there.
That's a cry of a generation right now.
Yeah, so we'll just leave it right there and we'll just say this. We ain't woke, but we are certainly awake. God bless you.
Good night. Love you, fam.
Raise your hand if you're 18 years or younger right now. Come on, we've got Gen Z.